Champions League first leg has ended and second leg will be starting tomorrow and will end on Wednesday. Due to the performances of the team in the first leg, we are here to predict the teams that will qualify to the quarter-final. And at the end of the video, we will predict 3 teams that may go to the finals. If today is your first time watching the video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. PA, welcome.
Thank you, Prof.
If you look at the first leg, the performances of some teams that some of us, we don't expect them to win. What's your prediction for the teams qualifying to the quarterfinals?
Yeah, so I think that with the Champions League, it's always creme de la creme. As in the olden days we used to talk in the African football, when maybe TP Mazembe in 2016 were meeting Ali. You know, that time TP Mazembe had the president of Moise Katumbi. When he came, he bought 2 private jets, one for the national, the team, and one for himself. Yeah. And that alone made TP Mazembe to be more rich and richer. So they even had the services of Ghanaian players, the likes of Daniel Ransford and Co. So, and those players also really helped them with Kasusula, Kasonde, Master for Kalaba, Treso Putumabi, Lee Matampi. Those players all came together to support TP Mazembe to win the Champions League back to back. And that's what at that time we say creme de la creme. Maybe Mamelodi Sundowns, the current CAF president was the owner at that time, who was the CEO, Dr. Patrice Motsepe. And when they meet, it was a match on everybody will talk about. So in the Champions League, there were a lot of matches that took place, but obviously we will talk about the big ones. Talk of Chelsea, PSG at the Parc des Princes, where colors will fly. Talk about Real Madrid meeting Manchester City at the Santiago Bernabeu, where miracles take place. All these matches were the matches we talk about. But don't forget, Liverpool went to Sukkur Kabuli Stadium in Istanbul, where they met Galatasaray, and they lost by a goal to them. A sensational moment whereby the Galatasaray fans made the tifo very Osimhen. Yeah. And then when he lost his mother, Osimhen and the mother, that one was a monumental moment that the whole stadium kept quiet and they were just applauding Osimhen. And true, Lemina scored the only goal for them. Talk of Bayern Munich meeting Atlanta, which was a 6-1 trailer.
Yeah, against Atlanta.
Exactly, at Bergamo,
yeah.
You know, Atlanta Stadium. Unfortunately, when Gianpiero Gasperini lost Atlanta and went to AS Roma, Atlanta had never been the same. Yeah. They lost Lukman, though Skamaka is there, but unfortunately they can't put their answers together. Unlike at first where they have Martin Degun, Cop Menes, and Dick Catilina, all those players were there to support Atlanta. Unfortunately, Atlanta lost it all at Bergamo, where they lost 6-1. The only consolation came from Mario Pasalic. Though Company wasn't a top-notch coach, but when Maya appointed Company, if you observe, the whole tablets were surprised.
Yes.
People say, a whole Bayern Munich, how will you appoint a coach like Vincent Company who just have little experience at championship with Burnley, came into the Premier and sent Burnley back to the relegation. But you see, that is how it is. Yeah. It's like that. You can't predict Bayern Munich, and all that they are doing is working for them. In the Champions, they've lost only 1 game, and it's Arsenal who beat them. And they won 6-1 away, which for them they have qualified. Let's go into the next game. Newcastle at St. James. They sat at St. James and was able to hold Barcelona into one of the toughest games in Barcelona history. Barca paraded a star-studded squad. But unfortunately, you know, sometimes when you are determined, it's difficult to beat a team that is determined by it. Sometimes we say in football, we say class is permanent, but form is temporary. You may have the form, but when the team is determined that this is their home, with all their fans at St. James's Park, making all the noise for them, and you know, letting Barnes scored the only goal for them, and then last minute, just a blink for the rest to blow a whistle. That dummy from Danny Olmo caused a penalty from Chow. You know, he was at AC Milan. And you know, Lamine Yamal will just have no option than to just score, convert the penalty, and it was 1-1. So that was also a fantastic game going into the second leg at Camp Nou. Let's talk about PSG against Chelsea. You know, before they met, everybody knew that Luis Enrique was supposed to take over from Chelsea, as to take over the Chelsea managerial role.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he even went for the interview. They wanted to give the team to him. That was when there was also a takeover from the American group, Paul Winstanley, and those people. But you know, Chelsea runs their team like Real Madrid.
Okay.
In Chelsea and Real Madrid have a similarity. The reason being that at the managerial level, you don't have a full control. You have to just be like a coach. You can't be a manager in Real Madrid or Chelsea.
Yes.
Just be like a coach. Tell the players they can play. Because the reason why I say that is that for them, they will buy the players for you. Any player you need, they will buy for you. It's up to you for you to let the player understand that he's one of the best players and he will deliver. I hope you get it. So Real Madrid, you will not have a full control, and that was the reason why they did not give the team to Luis Enrique, because he wanted to have a full control of the team. I don't want Mbappe. If you want to go, let him go. And Mbappe left, and PSG went ahead and won the Champions League.
Yes.
This person, I don't need him. Let him go. They all went. I need this player. Bring him to me. He seems my star. And Luis Enrique won the Champions League with PSG. And when they met in the Club World Cup final, looking at PSG, the performance they displayed, though they lost 1 goal to Botafogo. Igor Jesus, the one currently playing for Nottingham Forest, they lost 1-0, but PSG came back and were very strong, beating Bayern Munich, beating Real Madrid 3-0, and in the final, nobody gave Chelsea a dog chance.
Yeah.
But in the first half, Chelsea finished the game in the first half, beating them 3-0. Obama with fantastic 2 goals, and then João Pedro adding the 3rd one. And now when they were meeting at the park, it was kind of, is it a revenge or is it a continuation of what happened at the Club World Cup? And Chelsea, PSG scored first goal, Chelsea equalized, PSG scored, Chelsea equalized, then Chelsea just lost it all by poor substitution and lack of game management. I've told you, when Alexander Seferin took over from the UEFA role as UEFA president, he changed the formation, the whole style of the Champions League. And you realize that at first it was a good phase. We play home and away before we go to 1/16. But they realized that no, most of the teams were just defending, believing that you come my home, I get dragged home away, I get 3 points. So okay, let's make it all play on.
Yes.
And that is why teams like Benfica can sit in their home and beat Real Madrid. Teams like Gala will beat Liverpool 1-0. So all these things help the Champions League to be more attractive and beautiful, because they kind of all play off. There's no need for master tactics or defensive game. And that game, going into the game, last minute, just a blink, Chelsea lost it all. And Kvicha Kvaratskhelia came in and changed the game, and at the end of the day, it was 5-2, which is a top header for Chelsea to climb. Very top. The mountain is too far, that even more than the wall of Jericho. But in football, you can never say never until the final is. So let's see how it goes. Arsenal versus Liverpool, which was a 1-1 draw, and everybody knew that in this Champions League, Arsenal has never lost a game.
Yes.
It took at the Bay Arena in the Liverpool last minute for Arsenal to have a penalty to equalize. And people are even still talking about that penalty, how legitimate it was.
Yes.
Whether it was a clear penalty or not, nobody can just say. But as a referee, he has the command, he has the final say, whether VR is there or not. The referee has the final say. So whatever decision, don't forget, even in 2019, Damis Komina, Tottenham versus Liverpool, the final match, where within the first 30 seconds, Sadio Mane kicked the ball and hit the hand of Musa Sissoko. At that time, he was at Tottenham.
Yes.
And the VR called Damin Komina to come and review. He took a penalty. He refuses to review.
Yes.
And Salah converted that penalty. So for referees, they have the finances. Whether it's a penalty or not, there's nothing you can see. Atletico Madrid sitting at home to beat Tottenham. It was obvious that after losing it at the Tottenham, Tottenham lost their all-time best CEO in the shape of Daniel Levy, who really understood the Tottenham philosophy, the Tottenham ideology, how Tottenham believes in. He decided to leave the club. Some of me who helped them to win the Europa League left the club, and there were a lot of injuries. So it was clear that for Atletico Madrid as an emerging force at the Wanda Metropolitano, it would have been difficult for Tottenham to stand that test of time. And unfortunately, Tottenham couldn't hold on to their defensive play. You know, Igor today was a former Juventus player. Coach Juventus, it didn't work. They sacked him and brought Luciano Spalletti. And he came to Tottenham. I asked myself, why would he go to the come to Tottenham? And why would Tottenham even go ahead and appoint Hugo to the thinking it might work? But unfortunately, the firepower in new coaches like the way Manchester United is enjoying under Michael Carrick, Hugo Tudor is not getting that. With lots of players, and now even their main man, who was in the shape of Xavi Simons from Leipzig, he was doing very well, but unfortunately, he's losing it and now even cannot get a starting up. So no wonder Atletico Madrid made all the noise at the Madrid and then put the pressure on them. And you know they always mean when he gets you, they want to kill you. So that 5-2 scoreline was of no news. And then look at Bodo, an emerging force in the Champions League. Bodo beating Sporting Lisbon 3-0. And anytime I see Bodo play, it reminds me of the 2004 Champions League, Monaco Porto. When Monaco and Porto started the same way, they were just, oh, they will meet the big boys, and they met AC Milan. They just commoded. They met Manchester United, Manchester United, and although they did, Porto, Monaco met in the Champions League final. Yeah. But unfortunately, Monaco couldn't hold the pressure of manage with Johnson and those people, and William Carvalho's, and the fine, brilliant brain, and the charismatic Jose Mourinho, who was an emerging coach, beat them Monaco by 3-2. And that is how I see Bodo Glimt. A very small community in Norway, a Scandinavian country, building themselves in football. As at 8 years ago, they were in Division 2. And gradually, they started slowly building themselves. And in this season Champions League, don't forget, they beat Atletico Madrid in their home. They beat Inter Milan, home and away. They beat Manchester City by 3 goals. And now, they met Sporting Lisbon, and I knew obviously they will eliminate Sporting Lisbon. So that one was not a match for Bodo. After the experience they have built in the last 4 big matches, and that has really helped Bodo to also have its way out, because for Sporting Lisbon home in Portugal, it will be very difficult for Sporting Lisbon to overcome that. So that will be very serious. So let's see how it goes.
Okay, let's move on to Real Madrid City.
Yes, so Real Madrid Manchester City was a 3-goal thriller.
Okay.
And Valverde to score his first hat-trick for Real Madrid, not just in any game, in a Champions League night.
Round of 16.
A night of champions, champion of champions. As we said, creme de la creme. Meeting them, it was excellent for Valverde. And look at the display. Nobody gave Valverde a dog chance. Nobody gave Valverde a dog chance. Everybody thought Vinicius would steal the show. But look at how it all came out. At the end of the day, Valverde, a pass from Courtois, and just a touch, beat Donnarumma, and he scored a goal.
Yes.
The second goal, the same thing, just
assisted by
Vinicius, and he scored. And the third goal, just a lobby from Ibrahim Diaz, and then he scored the third goal. So let's see how it goes. For Real Madrid, I believe strongly that Real Madrid is a team to beat, and let's see how that match will go. But I see Real Madrid qualifying.
Okay, now let's start with Galatasaray Liverpool.
The second leg.
No. Between Galatasaray and Liverpool, which of the team will qualify to the quarterfinals?
Liverpool will qualify ahead of Galatasaray.
Okay, now Atlanta Bayern Munich.
Atlanta Bayern Munich is a dandy. If it would even be boxing, I'm not sure Atlanta would have requested for a rematch.
Okay, so
it's a dandy for Bayern Munich at the Red and Allianz Stadium. Allianz Arena in Germany, in Munich, it will be a disaster factor.
Okay.
They can't stand the fight for
Newcastle, Barcelona.
Newcastle, Barcelona. Looking at the game Newcastle played, the question is, can Newcastle stand that 110 years of company of 60,000 seater capacity? You know, Newcastle Stadium, though, is one of the beautiful stadiums in the world, but it just is very small. You know, the pitch size, or you can't compare that one to company. And I see Barcelona qualifying ahead of Newcastle.
Okay, Atletico Tottenham.
It's a dandy for Atletico. They qualified in the first.
Okay. Leverkusen Arsenal.
Oh, for Arsenal at the Emirates, aiming to win treble. Currently, they are in the Carabao Cup final with Manchester City.
Yes.
They are playing the FA Cup. They are in a league, really comfortable league. Though City have a standing, my base starts at 9 points.
Yeah.
Even City should win, they are standing 6 points.
Yes, 6 points.
For Arsenal to be eliminated by Liverpool at this stage will be a very, very difficult, and that will be a top of the team. Arsenal will walk over them.
PSG, Chelsea, this one is a crucial one.
So the reason why it's a crucial one because in Africa, Chelsea dominates. Looking at how they set out their team, in the arrival of Jose Mourinho from 2004 after the Champions League, he took over Chelsea. How he has built with African players. Don't forget the likes of Mikel Obi, Michael Essien, and even black players who were not Africans. Talk of Ramirez and those William Gallardo. Opportunity Chelsea has given to black players, Nicolas Anelkes. Even Jeremy Dita came and played for Chelsea, one of the Cameroonian players, most people have forgotten. So it's a clear indication that Africa's support for Chelsea is high. As I told you, in football, there's nothing like never.
Yes.
Don't forget that AS Roma lost 3-0. They lost 4-1 at Camp Nou with Messi, Suarez, Iniesta, Busquets, Xavi. All these players were there. But I'm telling you, at the Stadio Olimpico, AS Roma, after 4 goals to another time, they were coefficient. Unlike today, that there's no away goal who has been cancelled. At that time, they were away goal, so 4-1. But they came into the Olimpico with high hopes that they will eliminate Barcelona. Then, true, when they started the ball, Dzeko scored the first goal. They said, oh, still Barca will equalize. Second penalty came, then Danilo De Rossi scored, making 2. Oh, Barca will still get 1 goal, and then no circumstance. But last minute, at 75th minute, a corner from Danilo De Rossi, and then there was a header by Constantino Manolas, and that was a fantastic commentary by Peter Drew when he said that a Greek god from Rome has descended down the mountain hills of Rome and pulled off a miracle. If you really remember famous commentary, that he said Iniesta don't know where to go, Di Francesco don't know where to stay. It is the Greek god from Mount Olympus who has come to the 7 hills of Rome and pulled off a miracle. And that one shows that there's nothing impossible in football. Liverpool losing 3-0 to Barca at the same time came back and beat Barcelona 4 goals to 0. They were not having quality players. It was Jordan Henderson and Origi. No disrespect to them, but you know that when we talk about world-class players, that there are no seconds of play Henderson or Origi there. At that time, Arnold was a young chap coming, but they stood the show and beat Barcelona. So for Chelsea to score 3-0, it is doable. Even in the Club World Cup in the MetLife Stadium, they beat them first half 3. It's possible. The question is, this firepower of Dembele, Kubica Kvaratskhelia, Desiree Doué, and Gonzalo Ramos, all these people there, is it possible for Chelsea to score 4 unanswered goals against PSG?
That is the question.
That's the
So
question.
put your thought or your prediction in the comment section.
So I believe strongly that PSG might lose the game, but they will qualify. And looking at how tactical Luis Enrique is, and look at how deficient Liam Grozinia. He's a young coach, was Strasbourg, and they came to Chelsea to come and build up his career. And I believe strongly that it will be difficult for PSG to lose that game or even lose and not qualify at all. It's going to be very difficult.
Real Madrid, Man City.
Yes, so Real Madrid, Manchester City. For me, it were to the city of hope. I would say that 3 goals is impossible. Don't forget, yesterday, Pep Guardiola said something significant on Friday. He said, after the match yesterday, played draw, they asked him that how does he see Real Madrid game? He said, if a player and you don't believe in the remontada, in Spain we say remontada meaning comeback. If you don't believe in comeback, don't even come to training, don't even come to the stadium, don't even wear jersey. Just stay home, because at this stage they need the fans to be the number 12 player.
Okay.
But let me tell you, Real Madrid have seen it all. And recently, Real Madrid and Manchester City have been meeting, so they know each other.
Yes.
For Real Madrid to beat Man City 3 goals to, as I say, we are all making our prediction. Whatever we are saying is our own opinion.
Yes.
And it's subject for criticism, subject for debate. Anybody that talk can write his things at the comment section. All things are tolerated, but the truth of the matter is that this is football. Comeback is possible, but it is not possible at this time. That's why we say things melt, but it met with time. The truth is, it will be very, very difficult. And if you look at comebacks, we've mentioned comebacks before. Even this same PSG Barcelona went there, they beat Barcelona 4-1. If you remember, that was when Muniain were all there, and Ezekiel, Lavezzi, Cavani, Ibrahimovic, they all there. But when they came to Camp Nou, it was a 6-1.
Yes.
Nobody gave Barcelona a chance. They came back and beat them to the extent that they needed Sergio Roberto to even score the seed goal. And Neymar at that day stood the show. Messi were nowhere to be found. Though he was part of the team, but Neymar stood the show, scored free kick, goals all over, and last minute there was an assist, which is a free kick assist to Sergio Roberto, and it was 6-1. So nobody say there's nothing. Even Tottenham can still go ahead and beat Atletico. But the truth is that you look at the possibility. It's not about probability. The possibility is impossible. So I see Chelsea being eliminated. Unfortunately, the team needs to build up and qualify for the Champions League next season in the Premier League.
Bodo Sporting.
It's a damn good football. Bodo qualify. Sporting cannot beat Bodo. Sporting don't have that class. They don't have that class. They don't have that class. As I said, football is just like it's an artist. An artist believes in practice, specific practice. An artist believes in consistency. An artist believes in assessment. The truth is that although had experience, they've seen it all, and they have beat Inter Milan home and away. When they met Inter Milan, it was 3-1. Everybody thought, at the Giuseppe Meazza Stadium, everybody says San Siro is for AC Milan. Giuseppe Meazza is for Inter Milan. They see Giuseppe Meazza to be their best president ever in the history of Inter Milan, and that's why they named the stadium after him. It's the same stadium AC Milan to him. During AC Milan, they say San Siro. Inter is Giuseppe Meazza. But unfortunately, when they met, Bodo still went there and beat them 2-1. So that shows you that they beat Manchester City as I know. They went to Atletico Stadium and beat them back. So at Lisbon, it will be difficult for Sporting Lisbon to do the match. That will be very difficult. That will be very, very difficult. So I see Bodo Glimt qualifying ahead.
Okay. Thank you for your prediction for the teams that will qualify the quarterfinal. So what will be your best 3 teams that will go to the final?
Okay. So a lot of tablets predict, but I believe for me, before I make a prediction, I look for consistency in the league we are playing, whether it be the World Cup, Champions League, consistency. I look out for experience,
Okay.
and I look out for history.
Okay.
History, you can never take away that. And per the standing, don't forget PSG, Chelsea, whoever qualifies going to make a Liverpool. And Real Madrid, Man City, whoever qualifies will meet Atlanta Bayern. Of which Bayern will qualify, Real Madrid will qualify. Madrid and Bayern have been meeting on this one. Don't forget the miracle of Jose last minute at Bernabeu. Newcastle, Barcelona, whoever qualifies will meet Atletico Cotton, which I see Barca, Atletico qualifying. Play Sporting Lisbon is out, and obviously Bodo Glimt will meet Arsenal. My top 3 teams have put Arsenal first. Current form, broken performance, and history. The reason is that in the Champions League, no team has ever played in the Champions League first time and won it. No team. That is why even in 2023, 2021, Pep Guardiola forgot to even play a defensive midfielder. He was playing Chelsea, and that was Man City's first Champions League, and they lost a goal to them. Fantastic pass from Mason Mount and converted by Kai Havertz. So that shows clearly that it's difficult for a first time team to be in the final and win it. We all saw it in 1998. Juventus played in Oba last minute goal from Pedro Mijakovic, won Real Madrid the Champions League in 19. And 2006, Arsenal were on top shape with Henry, So Campbell, Gala, Pierre Lumberg. They were all there. But when they started, unfortunately, Lehmann made a mistake and was red carded. I think that goal should have stood, but unfortunately, took the keeper off. And Barcelona came back after 52 matches. William Belletti scored his only goal, and that was a winning goal for Barcelona. After So Campbell scored a header, and then Eto'o equalized, and Belletti scored the winning goal for them. And that later, that Belletti even came to Chelsea. So it's clear that Arsenal has lost their first championship, and when they go into the final for the second time, they will win it. Chelsea lost it in 2008 in Moscow, and that was the penalties against Manchester United. America losing it, and the same scored the only final for Man U to win the championship. In 2012, and Bayern Munich Stadium, Allianz Arena, against Bayern, all the odds were favoring Bayern. Bayern scored first, 81st minute, 88th minute, Drogba equalized. Penalty, Drogba played the winning penalty for Chelsea, meaning that was the first time. The second time they were in the final. So clearly, Arsenal, looking at how they're doing and the performance they're giving, people are criticizing them about their style of play, corner kick. It doesn't matter. What matters is this somebody defended 90 minutes against Barcelona in 2010 when they lost the record by Thiago Motta. They took Milito out of the game, defended 90 minutes, went to final and beat Bayern Munich. It's all about winning, no matter how you take it, when you win. So I see Arsenal number one.
Okay.
I see Real Madrid number two because of history and pedigree. Real Madrid is a team that if you're not careful, when you get them, they are like a snake. If you kill it and you don't kill it out, and it bounces back with full force like a tsunami. So I put Real Madrid second. And per how the table is and how the form is and how the things are going, I see Barcelona also. So I'll take Barcelona also. So my top three will be Arsenal, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Okay. And one of them will be the champions.
Thank you.